Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. The Read Live suite of programs contains Read Naturally Live, Word Warm-Ups Live, 1-Minute Reader Live, and Read Naturally Live Espanol. Read Naturally Live is our flagship program. The primary focus is fluency and phonics, with additional support for vocabulary, spelling, and comprehension. Word Warm-Ups Live focuses on phonics, with support for fluency, spelling, and phonemic awareness. Read Naturally Live Espanol is a Spanish language version of Read Naturally Live and is designed to help multilingual readers develop Spanish literacy skills. And 1-Minute Reader Live's primary focus is fluency with support for vocabulary and comprehension. 1-Minute Reader Live doesn't require teacher involvement. It's a structured, independent reading practice for developing readers of all ages. Today, I will explain how to log into Read Live for the first time, the Read Live navigation menu and homepage, adding or updating a school, adding staff, adding students individually, assigning Read Live licenses, assigning access to Read Live programs, assigning the student's lead teacher, and how to create a student password report. So now I'm going to leave my PowerPoint to do a quick navigation demonstration. The main account contact receives an activation email from noreply@readnaturally.com with login instructions. It will be an email similar to this. So the teacher will click on the URL that's provided in the email, and they'll enter their 8-digit account ID. They'll enter the user ID, which usually defaults to the first initial last name, and then they'll enter the temporary password that was provided in that email. When they log in for the first time, they'll have to set a new password. And then they'll select a security question. At that point, they'll go to this page that has the orientation and resources page, or they can go to the home page. The orientation and resources page will tell you what your role in Read Live is and what permissions you have, and then it will give you steps to get started. So we can go to the main navigation menu. The main navigation menu is the 3 horizontal lines at the top left corner of the page. It's a drop-down format of the tiles that you'll see when you click on the home icon right next to it. Tiles shown on this page will depend on your role in Read Live. Each account starts with one school. If you want or need to rename the school or add more schools, you'll select Account and School Administration. On this page, it will give you your account license summary. It'll tell you how many licenses you have, how many are available, and when your subscription expires. It also gives you the name of your account, who the main account contact is. And then here is where you can change the name of a school if you want. So typically when your account is started out, it says My School. So if you just click on the blue school, you can just change the name of that. And then you can decide how you want to make licenses available to your school or multiple schools. If it's just one school, you just allow any available licenses to be used within the account. If you have multiple schools, then you can reserve the licenses, and then you just save and close. If you need to add a school, you just click on Add a School and enter the information. So now we can add a staff member. So from either the main navigation menu, we'll click on Staff Member Administration, or you can go to the tile Staff Member Administration. And here to add staff members, you'll just click Add Staff Member in the upper left corner. You'll enter their first name, Then you'll choose the role that you want that staff member to have. Across the page, the check marks or the X's give you a brief overview of what those permissions are. If you want a more detailed list of the permissions, you can click on this Learn More About Roles link, and it will give you detailed description of the different permissions that that staff member can have. So then you'll choose what you want, what role you want them to have by clicking on the box next to that role. You'll select their school, and then you'll enter their email. And then you'll verify the email. And the user ID typically defaults to the first initial last name, and then you'll either save and add another or save and close. Once you've added your staff members, depending on their role, they can add their students or you can add students to the account. To add students individually, you'll click on Student Administration from either one of these menus, and then Student Setup. In the upper left corner, you can click on Add Student, and you'll enter their first name and their last name. Any field that has an asterisk will need to be filled in. You'll choose their grade, and then you'll select their school. You'll enter a student user ID. Student user IDs need to be unique. Many times schools and districts will use the student, their lunch number or their school ID. And then you'll enter a password for the student. The password needs to be at least 3 characters. You can have the same password for all of your students if you want. Once you've entered that information, you will license the student so that they can use ReadLive. So you'll assign them a ReadLive license. And then you'll assign them a lead teacher. And when you assign a license to a student, they automatically have access to Read Naturally Live and 1 Minute Reader Live. And if you want them to use Word Warm-Ups Live or Read Naturally Live Espanol, you'll check those boxes as well. Otherwise, if you want them to only, you can uncheck the boxes of the programs that you don't want them to use. Here, the contact information, it's not required. There's no asterisk, but if you want to be able to email a parent or guardian, you can fill in that information. And then once you're done, you'll just click either save and add another or save and close. If you would like to see a password report, again, from the main navigation menu, scroll to the bottom and click on reports. And then here is student passwords. You can you'll click on the box next to the students' last names to choose those students for the report. If you want to have a report for all of them, you can just click the person at the top of the list, the box next to their last name, and then scroll down to the bottom, hold the shift key, check the last box, and then click Generate Report for selected to view your report. When you're logged into ReadLive, at the bottom of the page, or when you're on the login page for ReadLive, you'll see a help link. If you click on that, it will open a new browser tab that will take you to our ReadLive help page. ReadLive help page has many valuable resources. There are several short videos to walk you through setting up your account and using ReadLive on the left side of the page. On the right side of the page are valuable links to student and teacher training, resources, webinars, and job aids are on this right side. Michelle, do we have any questions?
We do. Someone is wondering if they create staff members and the staff members either miss the email or don't remember their password. Can we reset passwords for teachers?
Yes, definitely. That's a great question. So from the staff member administration, you'll see your list of teachers down the page. And if you scroll over to the right, there is a reset password button that you can click on here. When you do that, the email is valid for 8 hours. So the teacher will need to, they'll need to log in within that 8-hour time period. Also, I have a teacher here in my account that got locked out of their account. They had too many login attempts. So if you see that unlock button on unlock user ID is highlighted, you're just going to want to click on that to unlock it. And then you can do a reset password so that they have that information.
Great, thank you. I don't see any other questions coming in at this time. So I think with that, we will go ahead and sign off from the webinar. I hope everyone got a lot out of the presentation. I just a reminder that we will be sending out follow-up emails with links to the webinar and the recording in about 24 hours. Please feel free to share the recording with your colleagues. And also please respond to survey questions that will appear on your screen after the webinar so we can continue to improve the educational experience for all of you and our future webinars. We thank you for your participation and enjoy the rest of your day.